All right, good morning. It's 9 in the morning, and I thought I'd just make a quick video to go over a few things I've been struggling with over the last couple of days on Rogue Ball. I need to move on to switch and shoot work for the next couple of days, so I want to just recap where I'm at with this. And I've got a dog coming over. Come on then. Come on. Hello, hello, hello. All right. So kind of a design problem. I've been so one of the first things I wanted to do with Rogue Ball was to get that mechanic from into the breach where you can push enemies around and you can kind of trick them into hitting another enemy. So the way it works into the breach is an enemy's gonna telegraph attack, and you side swipe around, do an attack from the side that pushes the enemy, and now the enemy is going to attack a different square, and that's really a powerful tool in Into the Breach because it means you can force enemies to damage, you can prevent them from damaging your troops, all that kind of stuff. So it was something that I really liked, and I wanted to get into Rogue Ball, but it was something that I held off on implementing for a while because I knew it was going to be complicated and quite challenging. So I put in a bunch of other stuff first to kind of make sure the game was good enough to it. But once I actually came around to implementing it, I found some pretty big problems with it and how it meshes with the design of my game. So let me talk you through that. I'll try and set up a scenario. There's a bunch of new stuff that's gone in since I did my last live stream. I won't go over that too much. I'll keep this video kind of as focused as I can. But essentially it comes down to let's try and engineer one of these scenarios. Okay, so I end up in this situation here where my character's on this tile, and I've got this enemy who's going to move and attack me from that angle, and this enemy who's going to move and attack from this angle. So if this was Into the Breach, I could move this character down and around here to this tile. I could attack the orange enemy, push him one square up, and then on his turn he'd attack that enemy instead. The reason that doesn't work in my game is because you can only move one tile. So I can't get to this tile in one turn, which means that by the time I do get there, this enemy is going to have moved to a different position, and that plan won't be possible. Another issue is that because I only have one character that you can move around, if you push an enemy away, so if I attack, oh, there's the postman. If I attack this enemy, push him away in this direction, his next attack is going to attack this empty space. There's never going to be an enemy that moves into that space because no one's going to try to move there on the previous turn because this enemy's already there. There's some kind of fundamental incompatibilities with that mechanic and the way my game works. So I've had to think about some ways that that I could solve this problem, and I can think of one pretty decent way. So this is a mechanic. Well, this is a game element that I've been thinking of putting in for a while, and it's the addition of another player character, so another human who can carry the ball. So what it would mean if I added that is that the enemies would have something else to focus on, which is not the character you're currently trying to move into position to attack them. So if I had another character who was, say, on this tile, I could get that character to move 1 square to here and push this enemy that way, and that would give me the behavior I want. I did think about maybe adding some kind of decoy objects that you could maybe place around the level, or that could already be placed around the level. But I think adding another player, it's something I kind of had on my wish list, and it was something which I wanted to hold off on for the minimum viable product build, because I saw it as kind of like a nice addition of depth. But I think I'm going to pull it forward as a priority, and make it something which is a fundamental part of the game. So every round will have more than 1 player character. That opens up a bunch of depth and options in other ways. So it means that you'll be able to kind of, in a situation like this, you can have another character who's running around freely somewhere else on the board, on the field, and this character can pass the ball. So that's going to, my thinking is that the enemies are going to try and target the ball instead of the players, or maybe a bit of both, but they're going to prioritize the ball. So if you pass the ball, then maybe this orange enemy is going to leave this character alone. He's going to try and chase the ball. And it means you can do this kind of ping-ponging where you have one character who's slow and slowed down by the ball and is being the focus of enemy attacks. Meanwhile, you move another character into a advantageous position, move them up the field, pass the ball to them, and then they can get slowed down and attacked by a bunch of enemies before passing the ball back. And you kind of like, ping pong the ball between 2 characters until you get to the finish line. Maybe in some cases you want to weigh up whether you can even get that character to the finish line, whether you just want to like sacrifice yourself and throw the ball while you get mauled to death. There's a few things I can do with it, but I think it definitely solves this problem where you can't ever push an enemy into attacking another enemy. I'm going to go ahead and implement that. So that's going to delay the first release, I think. Not that I set a date, but I've done some quick work on adding a second character. It's really simple right now. So 1 character can move the ball, and then I've added another button which is pass, so that just passes it to them. Obviously there's no animation yet, that's all to come, but now I'm controlling this character, and it's full of bugs, so yeah, work in progress. But that's the general gist. Like, you'll have a pass button, you'll have like a couple of different icons up at the top, and that will show you who you're currently controlling, and you'll be able to switch between them at any time. And when you've moved both characters, then that's when the enemy turn begins. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, I have some work to do on Switch and Shoot for the arcade version, which is being made by DSM Arcade. I'll put a link in the description below. You should definitely check that out, because DSM Arcade are doing some awesome things to bring a real life Switch and Shoot cabinet into existence and into barcades. So yeah, that's my work for the next couple of days. And yeah, that's where I'm at. Remember to subscribe, and you can follow me on Twitter at Crowbarscar, same username. And yeah, I hope to have more of this to show you soon. And I hope to do more of these kind of devlogs, because it's nice just to get my thoughts out and roll things around in my head and then verbalize it. It helps a lot to make decisions about how to go forward. So let me know what you think. If you have any thoughts on what I've said or any questions, just stick them in the comments. Have a great day.